Hey fam, welcome. Hey fam, welcome to the Beatdown. It is Monday morning. This is how we get our week started off, right? My name is Brew. This is the Badger. Bro, I guess I should say it to this audience since we said it yesterday to our other one. Happy New Year.
Man, damn all that. I hope they tuned in on Sunday because that was the last bit of righteousness they was gonna got me for all of 2021. Man, we
Lord.
back in real form today. We ain't here for none of that BS. Man, we got some great stuff to talk about on this show. We may have something going on today, but that's not my business. I'll let you run that. But I'm here, therapy, first day of the new year. Well, not first day of the new year, first Monday of the new year. First day of real therapy for us. It was therapeutic the last half of the year 2020. We gonna need more than that this year. So I'm here for it, brother. I'm ready to get started. What we got?
We'll see y'all right on the other side. We got a special guest. This gonna be a good show. Welcome to the Beatdown.
Ladies and gentlemen, batten down the hatches. We'd like to introduce you to the greatest combat sports show bar none. You are now in the Beatdown.
You wanna get beat down?
Let us now introduce you to your host, the Badger, and
Okay, I was just making sure you put another shirt on because I ain't want you like flexing for our guest or nothing. Because I know how you tried to get. So that's why we came to the two
Boy,
piece
listen,
show.
boy. Let me tell you something. Boy, I really wanted to say something to you just then, but I need to hold a ratchetness in right now because we got a special guest, and I don't want to sully this interview with my pigness, with my toxic masculinity. So, how about we introduce our guest?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, let me introduce you to the Queen of Saint. Whoa! Welcome to the Beatdown. It is Tuesday morning. Had a great show yesterday. And once again, want to thank Noemi Vasquez because I butchered her name when we introduced her. But my boy speaks Spanish, but he ain't helped me. What's up? My name is Brew. This is the Badger. What you doing, man?
Man, listen, I'm hype. I'm excited for today's show. I don't know, we might have somebody on. You know how we do. We're just trying to keep it all copacetic for 2021. But more importantly, it's therapeutic for us to be here for another day on the beatdown. And I'm sure that everybody came here. You know why they're here. They're here
Yeah.
to see me.
And it's interesting.
They're here
People
to
talk
see
about
me.
why is he always saying it's therapeutic? Look, we can't afford a psychiatrist, so y'all are it. We appreciate
That's
it.
it.
All right,
Trying to tell you.
let's get this thing kicked off, and we'll get into the show. What you think?
Let's do it, bro.
Hey,
ladies and gentlemen, batten down the hatches. We'd like to introduce you to the greatest combat sports show bar none. You are now in the Beatdown.
You wanna get beat down?
Let us now introduce you to your host, the Badger, and
but I like the way the bass hits on that song. I'm sorry, I just do. Makes me want to just throw some bows. All right, I gotta calm down. All right, welcome everybody, Fighter Share Nation. I'm gonna step out the way, and I'm gonna let this man over here who's afraid of Amanda Nunez. I'm gonna let him introduce our special guest for the day.
Bro, you got to stop slandering my name, bro. Like, you don't need to tell the whole world about our conversations about that woman, bro. So please stop that. But without further ado, because
The woman you're afraid
they
to fight?
actually they actually may not be here to see me for once. We got a special guest, man. He don't need a long introduction because we're gonna let him speak for himself. But I'd like to humbly and graciously introduce our guest, the one and only representing the Bay. That's San Fran for y'all that don't know. Kareem Hard Hitter Mayfield, bro. Let's bring him on.
Hey, Champ, we appreciate you, man.
What's happening, y'all? Happy to be here.
Look, San Francisco. I got relatives out there, man. I've been trying to get out there to get some chipino.
Some Chipino. Yeah, man, slide through.
I'm
You got a
trying.
home over here.
Cool. All right, well, look, we've been looking at you, been following you. Um, Impressive record, man. 21-5-2, or some sorry, 21-5-1, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. So I know the
And
bag
and
is itching to get into this. So I'm gonna step out the way.
and, and more importantly, my brain never been stopped before, so that says a lot about this man.
Yes.
But listen, bro, like I told you, we were communicating before we talk about boxing, because that's the easy stuff. Man, I want to get some game from the brother from the Golden Coast, bro. I see you doing a lot of stuff, a lot of business, bro. I saw you had the kick skid plates with the skateboards. You was doing that for a while. Then you had some media stuff you was doing. Then you was throwing fights. Now you got the dispensary. Give us some game, bro. How'd you get into the business?
Well, as far as the dispensary game, I had they had opened up a the equity program in San Francisco, which is it basically gives people that came up in areas that was affected by the war on drugs, sort of gives them a leg up in the cannabis space. So that allowed me just to basically be pushed forward and not have to wait in a line of people that had to wait to actually get a club in San Francisco. So that gave me a boost. Even though that took 3 years, and the grand opening is on the 16th. But yeah, the equity program definitely helped me out and allowed me to get move forward.
Well, how ironic is that, champ? That the areas that they push drugs in to decimate the families, now they allow to open up the dispensaries.
Man, it's super ironic. I mean, and just having for one, just real. Lastly, my last permitting, we had a police officer to come by and check my security, and it was just super ironic for a cop. It's a police is the reason why I was in the damn situation of getting a marijuana charge in the first place. Now it's like, bro, I'm here to make sure my marijuana is okay. It's like it was just, it just definitely paradox and just seeing that. But again, I guess it's a city. They're trying to right their wrongs in some capacity, and the failed war on drugs. Let me add to say that, and this is a way, and I'm a pretty prime example of what the equity program should look like.
Well, if I can throw this in, the war on drugs failed us, but it helped the people succeed that coined the phrase the war on drugs.
Right there, you go, and there you have it.
So listen, champ. So like I said, we've been following you for a while on social media, man. You're someone that you put everything out there. Like you let people know how you feel. You're not afraid to tell stories. I know you had some tragic losses, champ, in the last couple of years. If you could just let us in on what that was like going through those difficulties, and were those the things that kept you motivated to just have a complete change, not only from your boxing career, man, but what you're doing in the business world, bro. I mean, it's to be commended, bro.
All right, man, I appreciate that, and going back to your question, yesterday was actually the I don't want to say it. Yesterday was the anniversary of my brother being murdered. My little brother being murdered by the by a police officer, and it was a BART police officer, which is, I mean, I don't know what state or whatever country other people may be in. BART is basically a transit train for the public out here, and they have their own officers. And my brother was murdered by them, and it was a transit officer, but again, the authorities. So with that said, he was murdered. He was unarmed with his children and his fiance, and another black life taken, and it's been 3 years now. And going back to your question, what you were saying, it certainly has motivated me just to to go harder, just to do it for the more of a cause, I should say. Because of course I have a lot of causes. There are a lot of causes. There are a lot of charities to give to, but it just gave me a cause just to go harder, just due to the fact that I'm taking care of my brother's children now, in some capacity, not every day, but now I'm looking out for them. So now it had me to realize, it woke me up, like none of this materialistic shit don't mean anything, is what it really woke me up to. It's just like, all the flamboyant stuff and all the, even though I've always been a modest guy and I'm humble, but it's just all the materialistic things is not worth a lot of our time and the money that we spend to actually get it. And it just it showed me just more that it's about family. It's about generational wealth, not about me, not just about me by no means.
It's interesting you say that, champ, because I learned from a pretty wealthy person one time. He said that money is a tool, and if you look at it as a tool, just like any other tool, you won't chase it, you'll use it correctly. But if you look at it as the ultimate prize, you'll continue to chase it and you'll never catch it. And that's the plan.
Right. And like I said,
So,
forever chasing and never catch it. Right.
so Champ, just to kind of make sure I heard you correct, you said your brother was murdered by bar officials. Those are the same bar officials that killed Oscar Grant. Is that correct?
That is correct. And his the anniversary of that, of him at being murdered, actually was 2 days after my, excuse me, he was murdered January 1st. My little brother was murdered January 3rd, which was yesterday. But yeah, same bar police officers. They have guns, and yeah, they armed, unarmed black men. And we had went through. First of all, they of course they wanted to give him, made him innocent. He was released of all charges against him. But then so we wanted to bring him up on the not the case, but the what's the name of
Civil?
that? The civil. Thank you. Civil case. So we went through through two trials and mistrials actually, and then we finally won a civil case, and so that was a victory in some capacity, in the face of a huge loss, and but again, we're just moving forward. Yesterday was a hard time for my family and I, and time doesn't heal things like that. It felt like yesterday, and with that.
Okay, I don't know. We got a little lag there, Champ. I don't know if your signal went out, but I didn't want to cut you off. Were you done? Because I couldn't tell if you had stopped. You good? Okay. All right. So, Champ, so with you being a man of the community, you tied into the Pulse of San Francisco. We are on the complete opposite side of the country here in Florida. So what we do know is that we hear stories all the time about this massive gentrification, how people are getting pushed out historical neighborhoods in San Francisco. With you now putting your business back in the community, is this do you feel like this is the beginning of local residential people in San Francisco taking their communities back?
Yeah, for certain. It's like with the just overall the climate of the society has been in, with all the Black Lives Matter, of our people standing up and finally speaking up. So it's been a lot of change just in just overall, and I see a lot of more. I see a lot more, um, more more of our people wanted to be more entrepreneur, putting their best foot forward. I'm starting to see that a lot more. And going back to your question, I see a lot more. Well, obviously not with Corona, but just looking on social media and just hearing through the word of mouth, there's a lot of black folks trying to do their thing now. And with we had through gentrification, a lot of our people were pushed out, but now through what they calling us, a lot of the techies are leaving out of San Francisco now, which is a prime opportunity to come back and claim what was ours. when of our people moving from Mississippi to the Bay Area.
Quick question. Do you think it helped or hurt the working people, their economy of San Francisco, when they moved the 49ers out to the valley or out to the business park from Candlestick?
It definitely hurt working people for sure. It's I mean, it pushed a lot of business out towards that way. And again, it definitely hurt. It hurt working people out here for sure. And just overall, I'm actually in Hunters Point right now, especially this area. And you have so many different mom and pop stores that was getting money off of just the traffic that runs from down Third, that whole Third, corridor. And now, you just see them to today. Today, they're either not around or just not thriving.
Wow.
So, Champ, it was interesting that you said black people, being more entrepreneur. Man, I'm gonna be honest with you, Champ. That's a California state of mind, brother. Like you got hustlers everywhere, right? You got guys in Florida getting money, guys in New York, guys in Texas, guys in Atlanta. Listen, California has always had a different vibe. They always moved a little different. Would I be too far fetched to say that a lot of that is rooted in the Black Panther Party movement and a lot of that stuff that happened with our people back in the civil rights era, back in San Francisco and Oakland?
Yeah, for certain. That's a very good observation. I definitely feel that it is rooted in that because just that whole movement just showed us that we can do it. And as in, when we wanted to move, when we wanted to make something happen, and when we want to get our people and our minds together, programs for each other and for the community, we were able to do it. And it gave us, it showed us that we can be self sufficient, and it showed us that we need the outside source to, help maintain and contain what we had. Well, until COINTELPRO, but that's a whole nother story.
Indeed, I see we're dealing with a sharp man right here, bro. That's what's up, though. Most definitely.
Um, I know we have so much to talk about. Being from the Bay Area out there, who were your local heroes to pull you into boxing?
Right. So, to be honest, there weren't really too many prominent people that came out of the city that I really, looked at or admired. To be honest, besides streets, I can speak on a couple of cats that, because I didn't start boxing until I was damn near 19, 20 years old. I was literally, hanging on the streets, kind of chilling, and went to Combat College and got my AA degree in graphic designs. But again, I was still kind of hanging. I was chilling. So with that said, uh, it weren't too many. As I mentioned, probably like boxing as a youngster that a lot of people had. Like OG's locked in peace. He's dead now. But like Chop in the hood, that was hands in the hood, and this was before the era of we were. I'm from Filmo, so we call like we're the last of them. We call ourselves the last of the Mohicans, right? Because we was the ones the last with our hands being able to fight that knew how to fight. Don't even know how to fight, but I didn't have too many influences besides cats though that I actually did look up to for their hands. But overall mainstream, it was definitely a lead of mine. Due to his him being a philanthropist and just people. And then Tyson for his ferocity just being ferocious, and just being and I kind of mimicked this style. Then Roy Jones, and of course I can't say I can't Mayweather for his defense, and then you got Willie Pep, man, for his defense, like one of the first to
Oh,
do it before Floyd Mayweather, man. A little bit too
yeah.
far for some of the man, but You need to be a student of the gang. Go Google Willie Pep, man, before Floyd.
Wow. Haven't heard Willie Pep's name come up in a minute.
So, champ, listen. So now that we've officially segued over
Oh, he's
to
good.
combat sports, to boxing, you being from San Fran, did you know or were you familiar with Devin Haney and his dad Bill? I lost him. Can you hear him, bro?
Yeah, I actually was, and I sparred him actually several times when he was a youngster. He was just maybe I sparred him when he was like maybe 14 years old, and then
Oh, champ.
We
We
lost him.
still, we still have him, but he's like frozen.
Wow. Dang, he was getting into it too. He was getting ready to tell us something good about
yo,
it, but I couldn't hear.
We got you now. Can you hear us, champ?
He might be in a bad spot, bro.
Yeah.
hear me?
We can hear you, but you're kind of
Oh,
going in and out. Well, that's interesting. He said he's sparred with Devin Haney when he was around 14 years old.
Right.
So he's known him,
Since he
most
was a
of
kid,
his,
yeah.
yeah. And look where Devin is now.
Yeah. I think he's trying to come back on. I just saw him move on the screen.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's probably in a bad spot.
that's the
But yeah,
problem.
man, you see the brothers a wealth of information, man. Like just
Yeah,
yeah, this is pretty good stuff here. Hopefully we can get back.
yeah. Cause
Hopefully we can get Champ back for y'all. Because he's hold on.
you still there, champ?
I see him, it's glitching, but now we can't get no volume.
Yeah.
If you can, Champ, try to log out, try to jump out and jump back in if you can. But yeah, while we wait for the technical difficulties to
Yeah.
sort themselves out. But yeah, man, I mean, wow, I did not know that was anniversary. I wouldn't have asked that question, bro. I really
Yeah.
didn't know. That caught me by surprise, man. But I was, he gave us some good information, man. I didn't know that.
He sure did. That was
Yeah,
whew. And he explained exactly who did it.
yeah.
That's
And the
what
thing, and for people that are familiar with Bart, remember the Michael B. Jordan movie where he played Oscar Grant. What was the name of the movie? Um, God, doggone it. But yeah, that was one of the movies that really put Michael B. Jordan on the map before all the other movies. It was a great performance. I actually went to the theater to see it. Pretty sad to watch, but yeah, man.
you
This
spent money on a
happens.
movie?
Well, this was back in like 2011,
Oh,
2012. So
okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was back when I had a little bit of money. I'm poor
Yeah,
now.
I
Yeah.
think we got him. He ain't poor. Let's see if we can
Who?
get him back on there.
That's why y'all trying to put me on. That's why y'all trying to auction me off.
All right, champ, we got you back.
Yo, okay. Can you hear me clear?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah, yeah. We good.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna pull it right here then.
See, that's what I like. We're people who are very into ingenuity. We might be in a bad spot,
Right.
but it ain't gonna take long. We're gonna get to a better spot.
There you have. That's our people, man. That's our
Yeah,
people.
figure it out.
We
Yeah.
had to
So
figure it
you had
out.
before I left, you were asking me about Haney, yeah?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, yeah. So I definitely knew his. I actually knew his mom pretty well, and his father had met his father some years down the line, but Haney was actually quite young when I met him, and we sparred probably like when he was like 14 years old. And of course, it was just like working with a kid, and he was a
right.
good kid. And then I sparred him years later, probably about he was about actually about 17. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he was just about to he had turned pro, then had a few pro fights, you know. And though it was a trip though, because you know, when he got older, you know, I was hearing like he was already dominating in the nationals and all that, right? So like he older in my mind, as just like, you know, he's still a little cuz to me, you feel me? So I'm just
Right,
like,
for
you
sure.
know, and I got a pretty, you know, tough, rugged style. So anyways, before we were supposed to hook up, say we were supposed to hook up like on a like Monday, right? He was like, his dad hit me like, hey, Mayfield, like we gonna be in town. Can Devin get some work with you? I'm like, cool, it's all good, you know. So anyways, though, we didn't hook up Monday, and then he ended up hitting me like Thursday or something, Thursday or Friday, and then he was just like, and so anyways, after we sparred, right? Like I hadn't sparred him in a while. I this sparred him like 3 times before, but I hadn't sparred him in a while, and he did like definitely did better with me in my style. You know, like sometimes I'll
Hmm.
box you, sometimes I may put pressure on you and be in your chest. So, anyways,
Yeah.
I was in his chest this time, and he was like handling it pretty good. I was surprised though, right? So, anyways, his dad after me asked me, he was just like, hey Reem, like how you think how you think like what you think how you think Devin did this time? I'm like, bro, he did hella better, bro. Like I was surprised. He actually surprised me, cause you know normally like if I'm boxing them, you know, the young cats they'll probably be doing some sweet shit. As soon as I start getting in their chest, I start getting a little panicky. You feel me? And he was able to handle it
Yeah.
this time. So anyways, I'm like, yeah, my bro. So I mentioned that to his dad. He was like, he said, yeah, that's why we didn't hook up with you on Monday. We had to get prepared for your ass. You know, so I'm like, you a smart man. I said, you a smart man. He said, we was drilling. We was drilling for your ass. You feel me? Before we got in the ring with you, I'm like, you smart. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's funny though. You know, I hadn't sparred him in years, and I know he got way better. You know, and was doing a documentary in the city and right there at Booker T. Washington, and he was with, up there with the youngsters, and I had came up there and just kind of spoke, and anyways, he was just like, hey, when he's like, I'm like, what's up, buddy? How long you be out here? Like, you know, I'm chilling. I'll probably be out here for a few days. I'm like, can I get some work with you? He's like, come on, bro. I'm like, what you mean, come on, bro? He's like, I'm way different, Reem. I'm like, hold on. I said, oh, now you get me pumped. I said, look, I said, and I'm no different. I'm like, he like big cuz. He like big cuz. I wouldn't want to do that to you. And I'm like, you real serious? Are you serious?
Oh
And then like,
man.
and then, so anyways, it was hilarious, bro. It was hilarious. So he was just like, really. So anyways, like, bro, I'm like, okay, all right, cuz I'm like, we got you leaving, I'm leaving, but I'm like, we gonna see each other again, bro. Like, I'm still your big cousin, bro. Like, I know
For
you got
sure.
better. Oh no, it's a trick though. I know he got better though. But in my mind, you know, people are like, man, I ain't even whoop your ass, but in my mind, he's still my little
Still
cousin,
look
man. So
up. For
Danny,
sure.
Devin, if you're watching this, you still no cuz, man. I'm like, come on, man.
Do you
I hear
think
that,
But yeah,
bro.
man. Huh?
since you have familiarity with him, do you think that is the next big fight? Him versus what? Who do you think would be the best fight for him? Him versus Lopez or Davis?
I think it'll be more of a, you know, it'd be more chess match between him and Lopez, and then him and David seems like it'd be just more explosive. But you know, to be honest, I see. I mean, and not just because he's my folks, but I see Haney beating all of them, bro. To be honest, I said, I've seen grit. I've seen a lot of grit out of him. You know, his as I mentioned, you know, the stuff I used to do with him, and when I did spar him or when I was in his chest, it's just certain things that I saw in his eyes that certain people like when I get in their chest or when they start getting irritated, what they do. You feel me? And like I've never seen them like break. You know what I mean? And like you know, and people get frustrated at times, but I've never seen him break. And I've seen just a lot of grit in him, got good power. His defense is immaculate. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, I definitely see him taking it. But I mean, don't get me. I mean, you can't. I don't get me wrong. He got his hands full for sure with those fighters. He got those are hell of fights. But I just feel he has that if factor. You know, he got that if factor.
For sure. Now, Champ, I wanted to ask this because you was a force you working with at 147, if I'm not mistaken, for a while. You had amassed a pretty good record. You had went up against some world class talent. What was the toughest fight of your career to this point? I know you're retired. I feel like you still might want to get in there, but just in case you really are done, what was the toughest fight of your career?
Uh, let's see. I say the toughest one would be, mm, well, mentally, the toughest one would probably, I would say it would be the uh, Thomas Delorme. Thomas Delorme was the toughest fight because mentally, for one, for one, the night before, at the weigh-ins, my manager had got taken down in a Fed bus, a big Fed bus, with the San Francisco politician. I don't know if you Google that, you can see the case. He literally just got out after like 7 years. Anyhow, he the day of the weigh-in, so I get a phone call, like, "Hey, you on TV, bro?" I'm like, "I know, bro. I'm fighting on HBO, Film Motor HBO, yellow, right?" They like, "No, no, the feds, bruh." And they like, so they sent me the article, and it was like, "Yeah, yes." They said and the crazy thing is, my manager was taken down in Jersey, right where the fight was. So that was mentally that was one reason. Another reason why, I don't blame nobody by no means, but I didn't have a trainer at camp. I was self trained. If you look, you see that I didn't have a trainer at camp. And lastly, just like I said, going into that is just, it's just a mental, kind of a mental fuck, regardless of me being undefeated at the time, not, being self trained and kind of that shit happening. It was just kind of mentally, and then, and like, just looking back in hindsight, I would have just sparred different sparring partners. You know what I mean? I was kind of fighting just so, but if I had a damn trainer at camp, I would, they would have helped me with that. But
Yeah.
nevertheless, but physically, my toughest fight was when I won an NABO title versus let's see, uh, what was his name? Lopez, Patrick Lopez, and that was really because I got cut. I had got a headbutt, and it sliced my eye in the second round. I still had to fight all those rounds with a freaking sliced eye. And besides that, I've never. I mean, I have a few losses on my record, but in none of them I have ever been dropped, knocked down, beat up, battered, or bruised. So I feel like yeah, I'm pretty preserved. As a prize fighter, I've never like got my ass, never got dominated in one particular round where like, oh, he beat your ass that round. Like, there's
Mm.
no rounds where you can say, oh, he beat your ass. You would be like, oh, you probably didn't win that round, but I never got my ass beat. So,
Quick question: from the night that you won your title, how did you feel that night as compared to the next morning when you woke up?
oh my goodness, the night I won the title, first of all, but like I never told nobody this though, but the night I won the title, bro, I woke up in a cold sweat, bro, like in war, because it was a war for that belt, bro. Like Patrick Lopez was at his top game. It was a, you know what I mean? It was I think he only had one loss. He had like 20 fights at the time, Southpaw, and he was a beast, Venezuelan Olympian and shit. Anyways, I woke up like, you feel me, like a few times, like punching, bro. And I've never had that till this day. I've never done that. Like, woke up punching, but that night, bro, like I was like, and my eye was cut, and I just woke up, and I remember my boy, because my family had flew back, and my boy's like, "You all right, bro? Like, you cool?" Like, but bro, it was crazy. Like, so, you know what I mean? Like,
Wow.
looking back, that was that. Yeah, that waking up in a cold, like sweat swinging. Like, until this day, I've never done that. You know what I mean? But it was like, my boy's like, bro, like, you all right, Reem? Like, Reem across the other bed. Like, I'm like, yeah, yeah, brother. Now, like, and I just remember that. So that that was a pretty tough fight, bro. Like,
I can understand that, man, because I woke up the morning after I got married. I woke up swinging.
right, man, I definitely
Wow.
feel that.
Hey, So, Champ, got another question for you, man. So, you're a proud father. I see you post a lot of stuff about your son. You're a very proud dad. Um, just explain to me what it's like being a father, because we're all fathers here. But just from your perspective, what's it like growing up being a fighter, being a champion, and being a dad, but also being so connected to the streets, so connected to the turf, the soil, as y'all say out there. So you're in it, but you're not in it. But you're raising a son. So what is that? What is that like for you?
Yeah, that's a good question, man. But I mean, fatherhood is everything to me. A friend of mine just asked me that, and it's everything because I just feel like it's for one, they're my all, they're my everything, and they're my offspring, and they're something to do. They're a friend to have. They're a conversation to be with. You know what I mean? Like they're my sanity. They keep me sane. You know what I mean? They're like when I'm not, if I may not be talking to my wife, I can go holler at my children. You know what I mean? I can go play with them. So they're like my whole. You know what I mean? It's like I don't need y'all. I got them. We good. We good.
Preach.
So that just man, that's my sanity, bro. You know what I mean? And that's this, and then my purpose is just giving me man a purpose because a lot of times we can kind of lose our purpose, especially if you ain't really into, if you're modest, if you're not really a shiner like that, that just trying to shine. Oh, look at me, check me out. You like your purpose to for things. You're not really about acquiring these things. You feel me? You like your little toys and stuff here and there, but all these things they're not no purpose, right? But the children they give you a purpose. Let me go work for them. Let me try to start this other hustle for them because I know I'm
Yes.
trying to build generational wealth. I know I'm trying to build their credit. My offsprings, my people's, my parents probably didn't have my good credit. They made my credit bad. But I'm trying to. I mean,
Yeah,
black folks. Black
yeah,
folks. Come on, man. Put the something in your name. They put
yeah.
Blockbuster in your name, man. Come on, man. OG
And
Blockbuster.
didn't
Come on,
and
man.
didn't bring the
And,
video back.
Yeah.
Yes.
and then bring the video back, bro.
Yes.
Hey, pay them people, man. You
So
gotta
I'm
pay them
Dad,
trying.
I
people, man.
see you. I see you, Dad.
Right. So I mean, with that said, it's just evolution. We trying to be better. I want my children to be better than me, and not speaking nothing bad about my parents. They made me the got get the support, or made me the man that I am today. But and I expect my children to do the same. But going back to your question, with being still connected to my soil, like Ephesians may say, E40, being connected to my soil, man. Hey, hey, that's mandatory for one. A lot of the kids that a lot of the people I came up with, they're either dead today in jail, or it's another option, alternative, or have a reprobated mind, like their mental state is like gone, like you know what I
Wow.
mean, like literally gone, and being connected to the street is really being connected to, still because I mean they say not to be quoting the scripture, but it say some of it have to be left in Egypt, and that's just the mentality of the people, and some of them are kind of set in their ways. So you can't save everybody, but the youngsters I can go speak to, I can go speak a good word to them, I can be influencing them, and you know what I mean, or because I'm still involved in a lot of programs, so I may put them onto a program, or I may just go give them a good word for something, you know what I mean, or just be a light in some capacity. But I've certainly been, just kind of keeping my distance though. Well, of course, because of Corona and COVID, whatever. But just because I don't like to become common, I don't want to become common and just be seen. I don't like to be seen too much out there. You know what I mean? And I don't want them to feel that I'm out there too much. Like, okay, I'm out there just chilling, hanging and slinging. What my wife would say, "Oh, what you doing? You out there just hanging and slinging?" Like, yeah, baby, just for a second. You know what I mean? I'm just
Exactly.
tapping in with the people. I don't be out
Yeah.
there for too long. Yeah, don't be out there too long. That's just a figure of speech. Of course, I ain't out there slanging nothing, but
Right, for
it's
sure.
just kind of figure of speech. But again, that's the way to stay connected. And I mean, that's how you know what's going on and what's really going. I mean, and to be honest, a lot of folks that's still out there is my family members in some capacity. If it's not by spirit, by blood, by relationships, I feel like they're still my family. So I'm out there. That's enough bad role models, or not necessarily bad role models, not good. So if they're not good, it's just kind of neutral, which is normally goes left, right? So I try to be the right guy in some capacity because I know I'm not perfect, and and I let them know that too. I'm not perfect, and I fuck up too. So and I let them know, slipping, let me know because we need help too. Adults need help too. and we ain't perfect. Even like Tupac said, man, even a genius asks questions.
Yeah. You said
Yeah.
something, one that had me hollering. When you said that if you can't talk to your wife, you can go talk to your children. Cause boy, that's a sermon right there. And two, I the scripture popped into my head: train up a child in the way that he should go. When he is older, he will not depart. But most people think that only applies to the right way to live. But that also applies to, like you were saying, if a child learns the wrong way, that's what they're going to revert to. And there's nothing more sad
Hmm.
than somebody my age trying to be a G in the street.
So,
I see
Champ,
it
I got a
all the
question for
time.
you. Who are your top three guys at 147 pounds?
Good question. Top three guys, off 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 the gate, thinking um, Crawford, number one, P for P, pound for pound, Crawford, and then I'd say you gotta say Spence. Then I say, let's see, pound for pound. Damn. Uh, third guy would be he ain't been there in a bit. I would say a what's my brother name?
Not Keith Thurman.
Um, with the long hair, Thurman. Thank you, Thurman.
There you go.
I
Yes.
would say Thurman, but he ain't been active. He ain't been
Yeah,
active. He haven't been active,
Man.
and but it's a few up and comings, but I haven't. They haven't been proven yet. It's a few of them guys that's like that goddamn they're all knockouts. You know what I mean? But they ain't really
right.
fought nobody. But a third guy would. I mean, I would definitely in there right now. I still got to put OG man. I can't forget Packy man in there. How his last performance on Thurman was remarkable, man. You feel
Yeah.
me? So I
Real
gotta put
remarkable.
Pac Man in there, represent the old school. You feel me? Um, honorably mentioned is that not pound for pound, but it looked like he's been ducked. Is a Jerron Ennis
Boots. Okay.
Boots.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Boots. Yeah, I like Boots. Boots is nice. And to be honest, full transparency, they offered a fight for me. They offered him twice for me to fight him, and they didn't take the fight. Hey, I'm not on here to be saying who's scared or not, but I
It's the
got offered.
truth.
This was it's the truth. I offered the one first time it was they gave me 6 weeks and they offered six figures and I'm like, oh shit, that's too good to be true. Let's go. And
Right.
then they said the captain wanted. That's when they end up picking my last opponent. So they end up picking somebody that I end up beating that they bullshitting me on. But they end up fighting him. So then they end up offering another fight one more time, just about his last fight, which was about several months ago, about 3 or 4 months ago. And they offered me again, but they only offered 3 weeks, right? And they still offered a pretty nice bag. And I'm like, I told the person that offered the matchmaker, I'm like, I'm like, I tell them, yeah, just to see if they still was go, because they some, the matchmaker sometimes offer a fighter, sometimes the promoters get at you. So it's
Yeah.
really at the end of the day, it's to the manager or what his dad say. So I just said, yeah, tell him, yeah, 3 weeks notice. This is because I had a feeling they still was gonna say no, and it's like, oh, they won't take you, Mayfield. So I know I'm definitely still a wild card, at the end of the day, and people, motherfuckers, are still ducking me, man. And hey, man, it's sad to say, but I think I ducked a whole lot, and hey, man, even the great himself, man, called me out and didn't take the fight, man. Didn't pull
Yes.
he pulled Umberto, man. So
Yes. I remember
technically,
that.
that's a duck. Come on, man. So technically, that's a duck, man.
Wow.
Hey, Champ, I remember that. I remember when you were on the short list of opponents for Mayweather, but Champ, your style is all wrong. Listen, man, you a hard fight, bro. You're a hard fight for anybody. Don't nobody want that. Nobody want that troubles, bro. If we can go around Mayfield, we will. I mean, you and Sean Porter kind of have similar styles. Like y'all rough, tumble. Y'all have a high boxing IQ. You know what you're looking at. But when it comes time to really get it, Oh, y'all get it. So I understand completely why some guys kind of want to stay away from you.
Yeah, we
Champ.
definitely got a very similar style.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was saying we definitely got a very similar style, and actually, we look kind of similar to each other. When I had started, when I first met him, we were in camp. Well, I seen him in the amateurs when he was in the nationals, but I seen him in camp. We were both getting Pacquiao ready for Sugar Shane Mosley, and I seen Pacquiao's manager in the lobby, and then the guy gives me $1,000 as soon as I ride or get there. I'm like, damn, thank you. So, and I figured, I'm like, why did they give me $1,000? So then, anyway, she was like, "Yeah, see you tomorrow, Porter." And I'm just like, "Oh, it's anything on Porter." So I went to tell him, like, "Hey, bro, I'm not."
Oh,
And yeah, that's before I obviously I didn't have a mustache then. But yeah,
yeah.
so I gave him his. Like, oh shit. He was like, same height, same stature, same look, same head. I'm like, no. And so anyway, so but
Wow.
yeah, and I was actually supposed to fight Porter. And they had gave me a last minute notice for Porter, and they flew me out there to fight him in Los Angeles, and then they didn't take the fight though. They gave me a nice bag just for showing up though. I tell you that. But
Okay.
yeah, literally they gave me a day notice for a day notice for Porter. And yup, and my brother called me like, Kareem, they bro, you got to fight. They got to it's a fight. I'm like, for what? I'm like, when? How much? He was like, 150. I'm like, I said, when is it? He was like, bro, tomorrow. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, they need you or something tomorrow. I'm like, let's do it. And he was like, they said Sean Porter. I said, bro, you said 150. I don't care who you said. Let's go. And I'm like, yeah, let's go. Out the gate. You feel me? I'm from the streets. I ain't turning nothing down but my collar, god damn it. Talking about
That's right.
150, you feel me? And I was under, yeah. And to be honest, I had already had like I had a loss already then. I had one loss. If I'm not mistaken, I had two losses. I had two losses then, at that time. And it's just like, and at that point, for one, I've never been a bum, and I've always kept in decent shape. And I've always felt like, regardless for a bag, I'm not gonna go put my brain in a harm's way though. I'm saying I'll fight anybody, but I gotta be in some decent shape. I ain't gonna just go. You feel me? I've been on the couch. I'll fight anybody. Hell no, I ain't gonna do that. You feel me? I'm not money hungry for like that. But if I'm in decent shape, I'm gonna go get that bag. Because it's that, you know what I mean? Motherfucker get at least, you better have it. If you're a pro fighter, you better at least have a good 4 or 5 hard rounds in you. And I'm gonna give you all that. you know?
Champ. Let
Yeah,
me ask
man.
you this,
But they're gonna take it.
because
Hmm.
I know fighters who have been at a certain level. They all have their own pound for pound top five. Some have a top 10. But let me ask you, when you list your top five or top 10, do you think that, even at least within your top 10, that Clarissa Shields would belong in there?
In my top 10. Yeah, I could. To be honest, I could. Regardless, she's a woman, but it's still the sport that she's done it, and that we're in the same sport. She's dominated it, and like she's dominated in a good fashion, in a great fashion. And like, to be honest, um, I've seen her do some shit that I'm like, damn, that she's raw. Like, let me go try that at the gym. You know what I mean? So I definitely admire her skill for sure, and she definitely could be up there. On the list. Although I rock with Raquel Miller, I'm just keeping it 1,000.
Listen, maybe
Hey,
you can help us get an interview with her, because we've been trying to get her on the show.
Okay. Oh, it's all good. Say no more. I got you 100%. I got you 100%. I just seen her
Appreciate it.
yesterday. She was just in the bay.
Thank you,
Yeah,
man.
as soon as I hang up, I'm put it together.
And when I come out there, it's on me at Fisherman's Wharf.
Oh, say no more, man. Hey, when you come to the club, man, I got you, man. Regardless if you medicate or if you do for without any psychoactive components, you do it for just the healing. component of it, of the herb, of the plant, I got you, my brother.
Listen,
No,
my
no, you
partner
got me.
here,
Yeah, you
my
got me.
partner
Don't,
here.
don't get him. You got me, champ. I'm the one for you, bro. So I'm gonna
Listen,
tap in
Okay,
with you, bro.
say
We
the
you
gonna
don't
one
get it
want to
for
do
you.
cracking.
that, champ.
I
You
got
don't want to do that. You don't want to. You need to make that brother pay, cause he'll put you out of business. You. Now my
Hey man,
mom will.
I got what you need, man. I'm gonna have big samples.
Listen, my
Yes,
mom will
sir.
probably be with him, so don't worry about it.
It's all good. Hey, it's a trip though. Being in this space now, I've seen because I've been able to with my partners, I've been able to shadow at one of their stores out here in the city, and I've just seen how many different people that from different walks of life come in that thing. You would think that it would be just the black young guys or the stoners, but it's hella old white folks,
Everybody.
bruh.
Yep.
I'm like
Listen,
hella old white ladies.
let's
I'm
be
like,
real.
like literally that's like 75% of
Let's
the
be
Yeah.
people
real.
is, and it's only really like literally 2-3% that's like black folks.
It wasn't made legal for us.
Indeed.
Right,
I
right.
mean,
Indeed.
if that was the case, they'd have made it legal decades ago. That's what they
Right,
used to
right.
arrest us.
Exactly.
Well, champ, look, I ain't got much else for you, but I do got one question myself. I know my partner has another too, but I got one. So listen, they had a versus battle a few weeks ago, man.
Uh oh.
E40 ain't too short. We love E40 and too short in Florida, man. Did you watch the verses? And if you did, champ, who won it?
Good one, good one. Oh yeah, I watched that. I checked it out. By the way, shouts out, man, the Big Von. He shouted me out on that thing, man. You know what I mean? Shot me and my big brother Mo Better, Mo Cheddar out on the beginning. But to be honest, I think that I definitely feel that E40 won. E40, first of all, his energy was definitely. It was like everybody was feeling his energy. You know what I mean? He was a big guy doing some fresh little, yeah, I mean, doing some little guy moves. Everybody was feeling that. And like some of the moves was hella funny. He was, so his language is immaculate. You know what I mean? So
That's
his
right.
verbinology, whatever the stuff he be coming up with. But
Yeah.
and then and don't get me wrong, Too Short had, he had some of his hits, and I'm just a stickler a little bit, but to be honest, I don't know, he was a little bit too vulgar for me. You know what I mean? It was a lot of young women, it was a lot of young children, people watching with their parents, just kind of just feeling the vibe, and it was just kind of too vulgar. I mean, I know you OG pimp, but come on, bro. I mean, it comes a point of time where you know what I mean? And nigga, I'm gonna be who I am, but come on, bro. Like, you know what I mean? You just kind of, because I know a few people told me they had to turn it. You know what I mean? So look how many ratings that is, though. They look at, they had to turn it, and then it's just like, and then it just was like, and he said something about the OGs, the OG bitches, the OG cougars, and it's like, bro, you talking about the women that's actually your fan base. These are the women that's watching you. These are the young women don't watch you, and you clowning them, talking about cougars. I mean, that's all. I mean, I just that to each his own, man. But that's just my opinion on that, and that's why the reason why I feel that E41 to answer your question.
Wow. And I guarantee you, some of them OG Cougars got tattoos the next day talking about I'm an OG Cougar. I. That's just the way they
Cougar,
are.
right?
Just the, champ,
Right.
I don't know if we got a little bit of a delay, so I don't know if it's gonna affect this or not. But we usually have this game that we play called One Punch 5 rounds, or 5 rounds one punch. Are you willing to play this?
Let's go.
Okay, so whatever I ask you, the first thing that comes to your mind, you gotta say.
Okay.
Raiders or 49ers?
Niners.
Barry Bonds in or out of the Hall of Fame?
And
Dwight Clark, Jerry Rice, or Terrell Owens?
Jerry, the San Francisco treat.
That was my next one. I was actually gonna say rice roni or chipino.
Oh, hey, the San Francisco rice
Oh,
roni.
you gotta be kidding me. Okay, Golden State or the Lakers.
Hey man, my cannabis club is literally just a mile from the Golden Gate Center, Golden Gate New Chase Center. I got to roll with Golden Gate, man. I got to roll with Golden Gate.
Final question: would you rather have your kids remember you for what you've taught them, verbally, or for what you did?
I think I whether my children what I've done. I feel like what I've done.
Okay, appreciate you, champ. Appreciate that. Now, how can we stay connected with you on social media?
What y'all can follow me on Instagram at Kareem Hard Hitter Mayfield. It's hella long, but Kareem Karim and then Hard Hitter HARD Hitter HITT Mayfield FIELD, man. Kareem Hard Hitter Mayfield. That's all I really be messing with. I kind of just got the new app Clubhouse. Y'all know about that? It's pretty interesting. And
Okay.
other than that, I be just kind of cool.
Well, if there's a lady that walks in with a fighter share hat on, it's my mom, and she probably gonna be looking for some kind of a discount. Just letting you know, she's.
Hey, tell her to say your name and she good, 100%.
Hold on, I can't tell her that. I can't. She and my dad will probably try to move in. We can't. We can't have that, champ.
Hey, I
All right,
got you,
Chad.
man.
Well, look,
Hey,
man.
man, it's for the people.
Yes.
But listen, man, we appreciate you, champ. I know we've been trying to track you down for a couple years, but there's no time like the present. You gave us a dope interview. Your energy was great, man. And hopefully you'll come back and talk with your boys soon, man.
For sure, man. Anytime, man. I appreciate y'all having me, man. That was some great questions, and I like how y'all vibe off each other, man. Good shit.
I look. I've been trying to get rid of him for years, bro. It's rough. It's rough. But if you know any ladies with deep pockets, we're gonna be auctioning him off to raise money for
Bro,
the show.
bro, you gotta chill, bro. You gotta relax, dog. Like for real, man. Calm down with that, bro.
It's serious, bro.
Hey,
It's
he gonna
serious.
have somebody hit him in the DM, man.
That's
Somebody go
Hey,
tap in.
I'm taking the auction money, so I'll make sure he shows up. Matter of fact, we'll bring her to his house for dinner. All I can do is promise dinner. Now, whatever happens after that, that's between them. But I'll bring dinner and her to his house.
Right, and realistically, I feel like everyone needs some love around these times.
Yes.
Regardless if it's
Yes.
physical, mentally, or physically, mentally, spiritually, they need some love, man. And in closing, the suicide rate has went up 200% since COVID, man. So, mental sickness, illness is real, and we gotta call our people. We gotta love our people. We gotta hit them up out of the blue. What's happening? Just popping in on you. I'm good. I got my mask on, type shit. But it's real, man.
Appreciate that. We talk about that after every show. That's my man. That's part of his ministry is reminding people to reach out,
Mm,
tap in with your loved ones. So we take that
beautiful,
seriously.
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Now I know we got to let you go, but there's something that goes on out there close to you at the Golden Gate Bridge, and we have an issue here at the Skyway Bridge, where it's famous or infamous for a lot of suicides. What is? I mean, is
Hmm.
that still as prevalent out there as it was for so many decades?
It actually isn't now because they put these barriers to where the person that will want to do it will have to go through, a whole man, they have to be in shape to kill themselves type of stuff. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
they have to go through a rigorous amount of obstacles to kill themselves. So they have to find a different option
Awesome.
or change
Awesome.
their mind. You know what I mean? Like, oh hell no, this shit is like, you know what I mean? Like, hopefully,
this ain't what I
for
thought it was
real.
gonna be.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly,
We need to do that here.
exactly.
We need to do that on the Skyway Bridge here, cause yeah, it gets
Mm,
ridiculous. He and I
mm,
actually, where we met, we had a coworker that did it, and it's a rough thing. But I
mm.
started looking at
Yeah, it was true.
documentaries.
No, it was yeah. So, mhm.
Go ahead.
No, you start looking at documentaries though. Continue.
Yeah, about just the number of suicides on the Golden Gate Bridge, and they had a whole team of people
Mm.
that would just with boats, that would go and try to dissuade people from doing it, or they would have to go out and pick up their bodies if they jumped. It's crazy.
Wow, wow. Yeah, it's crazy. It's scary, and just kind of just this whole COVID thing is just crazy. Because with my children, I've been trying to just figure out things to do with them because they have a device in their face 24/7 now. From the beginning when they wake up, they got a device. They're on the computer, and then when they get off of the computer, they go to their phone, the tablet. You know what I mean? And that's all day. You know what I mean? So and then it's not much to do nowadays. Ain't nobody outside, and it's not good. And thinking how we came up, we probably had phones almost at 20, right? So they're getting them almost at 20 months. You know what I mean? Like we know a whole time without these phones and these devices. They don't. They don't know a time without the social media and all this. So, as scripture says, the children will be wiser. They say they will be wiser but weaker, something like that. No, no, it's not scripture. I'm sorry. It's a term. It's that scripture will be wise. That the children will be wiser but weaker, meaning that they're wiser. They more knowledgeable about things, about the world, about the internet. They can find something on a search of a button, but they're weaker. They're more in depression. They got more suicidal. So I
Hmm.
mean, that shows that there.
Thanks, champ. Man, I hope we can get you back on here. This has been one of the best interviews I've been a part of.
Man, thank you. Thanks for having me, man. I had fun with y'all, man. I said you was like, I didn't even look. I just looked at the time. I'm like, damn, an hour passed. Hey, time go fast when you're having fun.
It
Time go
does.
fast when you're having fun.
Or when you visit the clubhouse.
Right. True, for real.
All right, so we gonna let you slide, man. Be safe out there, man. We'll tap in with you soon, brother.
Right on, family. Y'all be cool.
You
One
too.
thousand.
Man, that was the man. That was Kareem Mayfield, the
Yes.
hard hitter from the Yay area, bruh. Great interview. He gave us a whole lot. We grabbed a whole lot. Now we got a whole lot to put out there for all of our fans and everybody tapped in with us today. Hell of an interview, man. Hey, great job, man. What's
Oh,
been in you lately, man? You been
great
on your
job.
journalism stuff? What's going on?
I
What you been following the Brian Gumble model or something? What you got going on over there, bro?
yes, and I found a whole stack of old TV guides and started my reading all over again. Um, and Jet, they all want to take long walks on the beach.
That's the jet pose.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw
Bruh,
that.
like what?
Oh, see,
They don't know nothing about
that's why we're
these
auctioning him
selfies.
off.
These selfies that these kids taking, listen, this was going on way back in the 80s when we was little children, bro.
Yeah,
The Ebony
yeah,
Man of the Month, Jet, well, them boys was posing.
yeah, yeah.
Them boys was
Look,
posing.
y'all better recognize. And he hit the pose correctly, ladies.
Yeah.
So the
You gotta
price
relax.
should go up.
No, chill out.
Thank y'all, man, for tuning in. Look, we'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to sell his line. For our more reform show, well, he'll be wearing clean underwear and a tie.
Yeah, that sounds about right, man. Any shout outs?
Shout out to my wife, my mom, my baby girl, who has her doctor's appointment tomorrow. and we'll see if she gets a clean bill of health so she can go back to PE, because she sat up Sunday night and said, "Daddy, if I can't go to PE tomorrow or recess, I can learn at home. I have no reason to go to school." I was like, "What?"
We just talked about it. They smarter than we ever were, bro. I'm telling you.
She
Little
went to
people,
school.
man, with big brains, bro. It's amazing how
She
smart
went.
these children are, bro.
She went to school. It was we weren't debating that
Yeah,
point.
that one,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No, you've been off for 2.5 weeks. You're taking your behind somewhere.
Well
So,
played, bro. Well played.
and shout out to your mom. Happy holidays to her.
Yeah, for sure, man. Look, another successful in the books. We getting 2021 off to the right start. Like he said, we'll be more refined tomorrow. In the meantime, y'all keep it safe. Tap in with your loved ones. Like Kareem said, I ain't got to repeat it. We'll see y'all tomorrow. We out of here. Peace.